Good morning, everyone. I'm audible to all. Can you hear me? Yes, no.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. So let's start the class. In the last class, we are discussing about the introduction to programming. We have discussed what is computer, how it is work, and what is the difference between the programming, and programming language. What are the different types of programming languages we have? How the language processor work? What are the different types of language processors? And what is the use of the programmer and why we are using the programming language in different domains? What are the different types of softwares are there? And what is Python and why we are using the Python? So in this class, we are going to discuss about who created the Python, and then we'll go with the Python basics. So there is a developer called Guido van Rossum and his team developed this Python programming language in the 1991 before the Java. And this name is taken from the one comedy series because these developers are the fans of the one comedy series, so that's why they have taken the name from there, and this programming language names as a Python. So here let's understand the basics. So first we are going to discuss about the what is the difference between the data and information, and what are the different data types are available in Python programming language, and what is the concept behind of tokens, and what are the different types of tokens available in the Python programming language. So today's topics are total fundamentals, and these are the very important fundamentals before starting the coding part, like practical part. Okay. So listen carefully. If you're getting any doubt or questions, please let me know. Now, so here I'm going to write one statement and then I'm going to ask you some question. So here I have written Sachin score 100. Can anyone tell me like this is the data or information? What is this? Is it data or information?
Both.
Both. Okay. Any more answers, guys? I need more answers. Is it data or information, guys?
Information, both.
Okay. So here, if you coming to the definition of the data, it is a unit of information. Unit of information. Unit means it is a singular thing, not a plural. Okay. Singular means if you divide these words here. Okay. So here, Sachin is a individual unit. Okay. 100 is a individual unit. So here this is one information which contains multiple data, because coming to the definition, data is a one unit of information. Okay. So here Sachin is a individual unit, nothing but Sachin is a individual data. 100 is also one individual data. Is it clear, guys? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Now, what I wanted to do when I'm using the programming language, in my programming language, I wanted to use the data. Okay, I wanted to use the data. question arise here, why we are using the data? Example purpose. Okay, let's take any application. Let's use Flipkart. Okay, so here let's take any mobile. So now you can see here this application is developed. Okay, now this application contains n number of information. Example purpose, you can see here when this application is developed, they wanted to store the data here. Okay, again, there is a different part like how this structure is created, how they are displaying those information. There is a different part, but let's come to the basic part. Now you can see here there is a image is there. Apart from this, you can see there is some text is there. So there are some numbers are there, and here you can see some combination of text and numbers both are there, right? So now here how they are going to store this information and how they are going to represent this particular information. So whenever you store the data and you wanted to represent the data in programming language, so here what you required one particular format. Okay, so that is nothing but your particular data type. Data type is used to store your particular data, and after storing the data, if I wanted to use that particular data to either you are going to represent that data in application, or else like you are going to work with in a different part. For example, numbers are going to be used for the calculation purposes also. Okay, or else transactions are there, again they are going to use for the different purposes. For example, 1 lakh users are purchasing something in the Flipkart. Okay, and all the users having the, like, today we got the 1 lakh transaction history, tomorrow we'll get the 50,000 transaction history. Okay, day 3 we are getting some 10,000 transaction history. So all this particular transaction history nothing but the data only, and now we are going to use this particular data for the different purposes. Okay, because this company is going to use n number of data for n number of purposes, but the first thing here is how you're going to store it, and then later the developers and the management are going to decide how we are going to use this for the particular company. Okay, so here in the basic part, okay, fundamental part, okay, data types are nothing but the formats. Okay, when you wanted to use that particular data in your application, and then later how you wanted to use, it's a different part. But first of all, what we have to do, we have to collect the data, we have to store the data. Similarly, one more example, let's assume like there is a one Facebook is there. Okay, now what I wanted to do, I wanted to sign up the Facebook. So here also some user is there, they are filling some first name. Okay, they are filling some particular last name. Okay, and now they are going to enter the date of birth. Okay, some gender. So here also what they are doing, they are filling some particular data here. Okay, all these data are going to be stored, and later they are going to use this particular data. Okay, so here whatever the data is coming, okay, maybe it is the first name, maybe it is a last name, maybe it is a day, maybe it is a month, maybe it is a year, maybe it is a gender, maybe it is a mobile number or email address or password. So whatever the data it is coming, first of all what we have to do, we have to store in a one format. Is it clear, guys? Yes, no? So here, to store that particular data in a one format, what this designer of the programming language introduced, they have introduced one concept called data types. Okay, so data types are nothing but one type of format to store the data and reuse that particular data. Okay, guys, clear? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Now, in Python programming language, we have three types of data types are there. First one is the basic, second one is the advanced data types, and third one is the libraries. Okay, what comes under the basic? basic data types are like integer, okay, you have string, you have float, you have boolean. These are the basic data types are there. Okay, I'll discuss everything, don't worry. Comes to the advanced data types, we have list is there, tuple is there, set is there, and we have dictionary also. Coming to libraries, we have arrays are there, we have pandas series are there, and next we have pandas data frames are there. So these are the data types available in the Python programming languages. Okay, it depend upon the requirement, like how we wanted to store the data and how we wanted to use that particular data. Okay, as of now, we are going to discuss about the basic data type. In the upcoming classes, okay, we are going to cover the advanced data type as well as the data types which are going to be used through the libraries. Okay, now coming to the basic data types. The first one is the integer. Now, what is the meaning of integer? Okay, which is also used as a int. Okay, so integer means in my programming language, I wanted to use some numbers. Okay, I wanted to store the numbers. Okay, which is not having any decimal value, any number without decimal value. If I wanted to store, so then I have to use the which format? Integer format. Example purpose, 10 is there, okay, 22 is there, any number, any number, any number I wanted to store, that particular number doesn't contain any decimal value. Okay, so for that purpose, what we have to do, we have to go with the which format? We have to go with the integer format. Okay, just assume this number contains any decimal value. Okay, here this number contains decimal value, for example some 10.23 or else 22.56 something, or this 7897 point something, 8085 something. Okay, like this, any decimal values. So whenever you have a number with the decimal value, this is called float. Okay, any number with decimal value. Okay, if the number doesn't contain any decimal value, what is the format of the data type? It is called as an integer. If numbers contain decimal value, then what is the format? Float. Clear, guys? Yes, no?
Yes.
Now, next is the string. If you compare with the other programming language like C, C++, Java, where what we have to do, if I wanted to store any single letter, okay, any single letter or multiple letter in other programming language like C, C++, Java, single letter if I wanted to use, I have to use the different data type. For multiple characters or letter, I have to use the different data type. Okay, in other programming language, string is divided into two parts. One is the character and one is the string. Okay, but in Python programming language, if you are storing any single characters or else multiple letters, it may be any single line or else you are going to use the multiple lines. It doesn't matter. Okay, you are using single alphabets or letter or multiple alphabets or letter, or you are going to write single line or multiple line. Only one format is there in Python programming language, that is called string. Okay, and here, as I said, you can see here in this application, you can see there are some alphabets also there and numbers also there. So how you are going to store this? In a string format only. Okay, how you are going to use? You are going to use as a string format only. Okay, if numbers also there and letters also there. Clear? Now, one more important interview question. Okay. So here, whenever you are storing any string data type, compulsory, it is mandatory, you have to store that particular data inside of the quotes. Okay. You have to store the data inside of the quotes. Okay. You can use single quotes also, or else you can use the double quotes. Single quote means this is the single quote and this is the double quote. Example, you are using one data Sachin. So you can write like this also, or else you can write like this also. Okay, there is a no difference. Two formats are there. You can use single quotes as well as you can use the double quotes. Now, what is the interview question? Here, interview question is, okay, the interview is going to ask the question, what will happen if you mention Sachin directly like this? Okay, for example, we have a concept called variable which is used to store the data. Okay, now I wanted to store the data. For that purpose, I need to take one variable, nothing but one name I need to use. Example, a equals to 10 means 10 I am storing inside of the a. A is become one particular container, nothing but one variable where I am storing the data. Okay, for example, in our home, you have like some biscuits are there. You are going to store into one box, right? Similarly, data is going to be stored inside where? Inside of the variable. So here a is a variable, 10 is the data. I am storing one data inside of the variable. So here you can take any name. I'll come to that particular point also. But here, let's make it simple. So here what I'm writing, I'm writing a equals to Sachin inside of the quotes. I'm writing a equals to Sachin without quotes. This is the interview question. What is the difference? The interviewer going to ask the question, what is the difference? Did anyone know what is the difference? Any answers, guys? Anywhere aware about this rule?
No, sir, not aware.
Okay. Now let's go to the one editor. Okay, let's open the online editor. So don't be confused. We're going to install the software also, but as of now, let's make it simple. That's why I'm writing in the online website. You can write the code anywhere. Let's open the offline editor. In the next class, I'm going to teach you like how to install the software and all. Because sometimes like if any website having the issues, server issues, so maybe that website is not opening. Okay. So what is the question? The question here is I have written something a equals to Sachin like this. Okay, inside of the quotes. And I have taken one more variable b equals to Sachin. Okay, without the quotes. Now what will happen here? Okay, so here now I'm going to print this. Okay, here I have stored, and now you can see here what is happening. I'm getting one particular error, and where I'm getting this error. Okay, let me just open the lines also. Here I have opened the line. You can see it just I have given the one space in the line number 2. Line number 3 I have written something, and now you can see here one indicator is coming. I hope you can see, guys, right? You can able to see my screen. Yes, no.
Yes, sir, yes.
So you can see one indicator is there, arrow mark is there. Okay, in the line number 3, it is saying b equals to Sachin is highlighted, and it is saying something called name error, right? So here why we are getting this particular error, and error because you can see when you write some code, there are number of errors are going to become. Okay, and errors also categorized. So here there is the one type of error is called name error. So now the question arises here is why this name error is coming, and also you can see here in the bottom last line, definition is also given, some notes is given that name Sachin is not defined. So what is the meaning of this name? So in programming language, name stand for identifier. Okay, we'll come to that particular part also. Uh, this identifier is nothing but name. Name belongs to identifier. Name is the normal word we use. Coming to the programming language, how we use this word as an identifier. For example, just assume there is a person called Chaitanya, but in their home they call as a Chintu. So Chintu and Chaitanya both are different or same? Both are same only, right?
Same, same.
Only the name is different, right? Only the because in their home they are calling Chintu, but in officially they are calling as a Chaitanya. So same thing is there. So here identifier is nothing but the name. So in Python programming language, in all the programming language, we have the same thing is there. Like whenever you are storing something, you have to give some name. Example purpose, here you can see in the line number 1, let me just zoom it. So here in the line number 1, I have used the quotes. Whenever I use the quotes, what will happen? Your programming language is going to be understand like you are going to store one data. You are going to store one data here. Now here line number 1, the data is stored here. But in the line number 3, you have not mentioned anything. When you are not mentioning anything, what your program understand? Your program understand it's an identifier. It means it is a name. Like A itself a name. Now you can see A, we haven't used the quote symbol. B, we haven't used the quote symbol. Sachin also we have not used the quote symbol. So when you don't use the quotes, you use some alphabets, then your program understand it's a name. Name means you are storing something. It will become one identifier. For example, Telangana is a one name, Andhra is a one name, Maharashtra is a one name. When you give some name, what will become? It will become one identification. Is it clear, guys? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
What is the purpose of name? Just for identification purpose only. You have one name, I have one name. What is the purpose? Just for identification. That's it, right? So here also in programming language, when you give some name, it will become one identification. Now B search for the identification of Sachin, but it is saying like it is not defined. You haven't defined in your program what is Sachin. Now you can see here, if I write something Sachin equals to 20, I have written Sachin equals to 20. Now what I'll do, I'm going to write B equals to Sachin. B equals to Sachin I have written. Now I'm not getting the any error. I'm getting the error now here. No, I'm not getting the error. And now if I print this B, now you can see here I'm getting the answer as a 20, right? So here when I mention Sachin equals to 20 means what I have done, I have defined something. What I have done, I have defined something. When you give the name, you have to store something. It may be data, it may be one file, it may be one part of the code, it may be any functionality, it may be any classes. Okay, different things are there that we are going to learn in the upcoming classes. When we do the practical, you'll get more idea. Okay, but as of now, fundamentally what you have to understand, when you are not mentioning the codes, it will become the name, means it will become one identification. Now your program search what is stored inside of that name. If nothing is there, your programs give you the error. What error? Name error. Is it clear, guys? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
So here for this thing, lot of questions are going to be created. Either interview is going to be asked why name error occurs. okay, or else they'll give you the difference, like how I have given the question, like what will happen if I take some word and I'll use the quotes or without the quotes, what is the difference here, all right? Or else they're going to ask why name error occurs, like this of questions they're going to ask in the interview. Nowadays people like interviewers are not asking the direct questions, they are going to give you one case, they are going to give you one scenario, and then based on the like, I'll they give you one story, and then they'll ask you the question. Okay, so as of 95%, no one is asking the direct questions. Only like 5%, like if you go to the referral, maybe they are going to ask the question direct questions. But 95%, either they are going to give you one scenario or story, and then based on this, they are going to ask you the question, guys. Okay, so that's why you have to learn the fundamentals. Okay, is it clear? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here where we are in the basic data types. Okay, we have covered integer, string, and float. Now let's come to the last data type, that is the boolean. So in boolean we have only two values are there. Okay, what is the two values? One is called true and second one is false. So whenever you wanted to store the data in true and false format, now the question arises here, what is the use of the true and false? Okay, example purpose. Okay, let's open any application. For example, you can see here, when I open the Facebook, okay, if I open the Facebook, so here what is happening, directly this page is opening. Okay, this page is opening, right? Okay, let because here I have used the private browser, let's open in the normal browser. Okay, here, no, this is not normal browser, this is the normal. Okay, and here I'm going to use the Facebook. Now you can see the difference. Okay, and now you have to tell me, guys, listen carefully. Okay, and here I have opened. Okay, so now you can see here, when I open this, okay, I am getting some page information. Okay, one profile, and now you can see here, when I open in the different browser, when I open this facebook.com, I am getting this login page. Why? The question arises, why? Think like a programmer, think like a coder, and tell me why. What is the difference? Why it is coming like this? If you don't know the answer, no issues, guys, but try to give the answer. If it is false, doesn't matter, because here we are for learning purpose.
So because the in one browser we are login is we have logged in as a user. In other browser,
Hmm.
it's going to the like the login is false.
Yeah. So here, because in the background, lots of code is written. Okay, we are not going to the large part of the code. We are coming to the what the main fundamentals. Like if something is true, what you wanted to generate the result. If something is false, what type of results you wanted to generate. Okay, so here boolean is a one type of data type where we have only two values, and here whenever you have something yes or no type, okay, nothing but true and false. If yes, what you wanted to generate the result. If it is no, what you wanted to generate the result. For that purpose, what we have to do, we have to go with the boolean data types. Is it clear, guys? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
And same thing, like if you go with any e-commerce website also, if I use any mobile, let's take any mobile. And now you can see here I'm getting one checkbox. Okay. Or else here also you can say left side also I'm getting some particular checkboxes. If I click on the checkboxes, it means it is true and I wanted to display these items. If it is false, if all false, I wanted to display this type of result. And you can see here also one checkbox is there. If it is true and false, if for example, what they have written in the backend, maybe they have written if it is checked, display something. If it is not checked, display something. Is it clear, guys? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Same thing you can see in Flipkart. There are a number of things are there, and there is a called grocery. Okay, and here you can see I have mentioned one pin code, and here I have mentioned the grocery. For this pin code, I'm getting this page. Okay, okay, they are saying login, but if I scroll down, I'm getting this page, and if I select any category, for example, biscuit, okay, and they are asking the pin code. Let's use, okay, so here I'm getting the all the data here for this delivery location. Okay, let's go with any district or rural area. So now you can see here we are getting one error. Sorry, currently no option available in your pin code. But if I enter some correct, for example, Hyderabad addresses, I'm getting the data. I'm not getting any error. Is it clear? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
If that pin code is valid, then you're getting the products. If pin code is invalid, you're not getting that particular product. That is the use of the Boolean data type. So this is a very strong data type which is used mostly in the backend whenever you wanted to generate any result based on true and false. If it is there, what page you wanted to display, what content you wanted to display, or else what results you wanted to display. Same thing like ATM, you can say like if card is genuine, go to that page. If card is not genuine, for example, someone is using dummy card, okay, not a ATM card, not it is original PVC card, something they are using PAN card. PAN card is also one PVC card, but it is not contain the originality, right? PAN card also having backside one barcode will be there, black strip. Even same thing for the your ATM also back strip, but both are the different. This is not a genuine card, right? For example, same thing you take your RC, okay, vehicle RC, that also one chip will be there. Now driving license also having chip is there. PAN card also, sorry, ATM card also having chip is there. But can you use your driving license or RC for the accessing the ATM machine? The answer is no. Are you getting my point, guys? Yes, no.
Yes, sir.
So that is the use of the Boolean data type. So now these data types are the basic which we use widely whenever we wanted to store the data here. So these are the basic data type that is very important. Now coming to the advanced data type. So what is the comes under the advanced data type? There are four different categories are there. So these advanced data types are going to use at a time you wanted to store more than one data at a time. So we'll cover this in the upcoming classes. Okay. So at a time I want to store more than one data. It means a large data set. I wanted to store one large data set. Example purpose. Here you can see if I click on the sign up, if you mention some name, okay, for example, I have mentioned Sachin. So Sachin is an individual data, okay. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to use all this data, means first name I wanted to use, last name also I wanted to store, date of birth I wanted to store 3, okay, gender 4, mobile number 5, password 6. So all 6 data I wanted to store as a one data. Is it clear, guys? Yes, no? So I wanted to make this as a one data set. So for that purpose, what I have to do, I have to go with the advanced data type. Is it clear? Everyone, is it clear? Yes, no?
Like basically we are storing this data into one person's identity, you mean? For that
Huh.
purpose we use
Yes.
list.
Maybe 1% identity, maybe more than 1% identity also.
Okay.
Large data set. So whenever we are working with the large data set where we having more than one data, it may be 10 data, it may be 100 data, it may be 1 lakh data set also. Got it?
Okay.
Now coming to the libraries, means in other programming language like Java is there, okay, you have C language is there, C++, where we have directly array concept is there. But in Python programming language, to use the same thing, we have advanced data types are there. But now what you wanted to do, just assume you wanted to use the array in Python programming language. So directly we don't have the array concepts. That's why what programmers has done, they have created libraries. Means in Python programming language, whatever the extra work you wanted to do using the Python programming language, for that purpose, they have created the libraries. So libraries are nothing but the ready-made Python files for you. Okay. So again, these libraries are used for the different purposes. For example purpose, now, okay, we are into the data types concept. So here array is a one data type. In Python, we don't have the array concept. So that's why developer designed one library. There are two libraries are there. One is called NumPy and second one is the array. So you can use this array data type through the NumPy library and second through the array library also. So array is a one data type which is available in the C language also, C++, Java, which is used for what purpose? Which is used for to store the large data set which is belongs to same type of data. For example, there is a one large data set where all the numbers are there. There is a one large data set where all the characters are there. There is a one large data set where all the boolean values are there. There is a one large data set where all the floating values are there. So whenever I wanted to work a large data set where all the values belongs to same data type, then what I have to do, I have to use what type of data type? I have to use the array data type. And in array, you can choose the dimensions also, like 1D format, 2-dimension format, 3-dimension formats, like that, like matrices, rows and columns format. If I wanted to store the data, then what I have to do, I have to go with the array concept. Okay, that also we are going to learn in the upcoming classes. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And next we have one more library called pandas library. In pandas libraries, again two more data types is introduced. First one is series, second one is the data frames. So why they have introduced two more data types? Because once they have introduced the array, in array what is the difference? In here in array you can store large data set, but what is the condition here? Condition is you can store only same type of data. What if multiple type of data are coming, mixed type of data are coming, mixed type of data are coming, and you wanted to use as a multi-dimension, like rows and columns of data are coming, then what should I do? Then I have to go with the pandas. Is it clear, guys? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
I am working with a large data set where I have rows and columns are there, but if all the data belongs to same data type, I'll go with the array. If I have mixed data types, I'll go with the pandas. In pandas series, I can use only one row. For pandas data frames, I can use n number of rows and columns. Only for one row, multiple columns, I'll go with the series. If you have n number of rows, n number of columns, I'll go with the data frame. That is the difference. Okay, so we will be having the separate classes. Okay, in upcoming classes, we have the individual class for this arrays concept and pandas concept. So don't be confused. For just introduction part, okay, we are covering these things. Everything we are going to learn practically. Okay. So in interview, if someone is asking in Python how many data types are there, so this is categorized into three different parts. One is the basic data types, where we are storing the individual data, like I am storing the number without decimal, I am storing the number with a decimal, or else any alphabets are coming, or else any true and false type of values are coming, then I'll go with the basic data types. Now I have n number of data I wanted to store, then I'll go with the advanced data types. Okay. So this is also called Python data structures also. Okay. So that is data structure algorithm, that is a different topic. Okay. So don't be confused. So here in the advanced data type, what we have list, tuple, set and dictionary. What is the difference, how we are going to store, that we are going to learn in the upcoming classes. Next we have libraries related data which is not available directly. So these are the built-in data types. Okay, basic data types, advanced data types, these are the built-in, means when Python is developed they have added these things. But these arrays and pandas, series and data frames, that is not built in. This is added later through the libraries. Means directly I cannot use, like how directly I am using, uh, here you can see here directly I am storing the data, I am not using any library something. Okay, so directly I am using these things. But coming to the arrays and panda series or pandas data frame, I need to use the libraries, how to use those libraries. Okay, and how to store the data in that particular library, how to use those particular libraries data, that we are going to learn in the upcoming classes. So till now guys, is it clear? Any doubt, any questions?
Yes, sir, clear. So one question. So libraries are, you mentioned extra, these are used for extra work, and these
Hmm.
are Python files basically.
Yes, yes, Python files. Whenever you are working in a project, number of developers are going to be work on that project, and number of developers are going to work in the number of files. Right? When you're working in a project, there are number of files will be there.
Okay.
So those files, sometimes some files are already created, some files you are going to create. When any file is already created, that is considered as a libraries.
Okay. Okay. For any particular use,
Hmm?
like if any file is created for
Hmm.
any particular use, the that is called library.
Yes, that is libraries. That is also called Python files also. Both are same. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Libraries, modules, or Python file. All are same. So don't be confused. Any other questions, guys? Okay. Let's go to the next topic, that is called tokens. So what is the tokens here? So let's take an example. Now World Cup is going on, right? T20 World Cup. Now just assume ICC decided they wanted to launch one new format. Let's take example like T10 cricket. Okay, new format is going to be, they wanted to launch, right? So if they wanted to launch the new format, so what they have to do, they have to create some particular rules, right? And based on the rules only, they can play this particular game. And in that particular game, if some things are like whatever it may be, uh, related to batting or bowling or fielding, any things are going to be happened, that is going to be, whatever the results are there, that is based on the rules only. For example, whenever a bowler bowls, if it is a, this ball is going to be dead, or else this ball is going to be no ball, or it ball is a valid ball, how they are going to decide? Based on the rules only. Is it clear? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
right? Similarly, now these programmers designed one programming language. Okay, they have designed one programming language. Now, as a user, okay, I want to use the programming language because I wanted to build programs. Okay, I want to build a programs. That's why I'm going to write the code. So I have to use that programming language to build something, to program something. How I can able to use that programming language? So the answer is tokens. So what is the tokens? In simple meaning, it's a rules of programming language. Basic rules you can say, which is used for what purpose? Okay, which is used to use that particular programming language. Okay, using the tokens, you can write that particular code. Whatever the fundamentals are there, all these collections are written as a tokens. Now these are divided into 5 different parts. One is called identifier, one is called keywords, one is called literals, one is called operators, and the last one is the punctuators. Okay, 5 types of are there identifier. Sorry, 5 types of tokens are there. First one is the identifier, second one is the keyword, third one is the literals, fourth one is the operators, fifth one is the punctuators. Okay, concept is clear, guys. Why we are using the tokens? To understand the rules. Okay, why we are understanding the rules? Because I wanted to use the concept of the programming language. I wanted to write some code here. I wanted to build something. But before writing the code, first of all, I need to understand what are the fundamentals are there, what are the basic rules are there. Clear, everyone? Yes, no?
Yes.
The first one is the identifier, nothing but the naming rules. Okay. So here, what is the meaning of the identifier? Simple, it name only there, word is there, identifier, it means nothing but the, it means identification. Identification. So what is identification here in the programming language when you use the, when you write the code? So here what actually you are doing, here you are assigning your own name. Okay, you are giving the name. What actually you are doing here, you are giving the name. But why you are giving the name? The question here, why? What is the purpose? Why you assign some names? Okay, so different possibilities are there. Example, maybe you want to store the data, you want to store the data, and later you wanted to reuse the data. But how you are going to reuse the data? For example, you have written, okay, one backend code where you wanted to store this entire, okay, one user is sign up to, and you wanted to collect the data, you wanted to store the data in your program, in your program file, and then next step you are sending that particular data into the databases, right? So here, when you wanted to collect the data, step number 1, collect the data, step number 2, store the data. So here, when you are collecting the data and you wanted to store the data, means how you are going to store this, how you are going to collect this, and how you are going to store this. So for that purpose, we have a concept called variables. Okay, so we have, again, we have type of identifiers. So here we have a one type of identifier called variable, which is used for what purpose? Which is used to store the data. It may be basic data, it may be advanced data, it may be data belongs to libraries also. Okay, is it clear? Yes, no? So if I wanted to store the data, to recognize that particular data, where it is stored. For example, you are asking one question. For example, you wanted to take the admission. I'll come to the institute and I'll pay the fee. So now you're going to ask that management, Where is your institute? What is the name of the institute? Right? That is a question. So here name is the one identification. Right? Again, next question, what is the location? For example, they are saying Amirpet or Maitrivanam. In Maitrivanam, where? Right? That is the question, right? Again, they are asking like this building. In this building, where? Which floor? First floor, second floor, third floor, right? For example, first floor, what is the door number? Right? For example, they are saying 101, 102. So these are what? These are the names here. Why these names are assigned? For location, right? So similarly here also, whenever you give the name in the backend part, what will happen? One location is going to be created, and where all these particular data are going to be stored. Is it clear, guys? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
So here maybe you are going to store one data, or else what you are doing, maybe you are going to store, okay, some lines of code, some lines of code. So what is this? This is called functions. Okay. So this function is also called as a mini program because you're going to store some lines of code. Okay. Again, maybe you're going to write the files also. Okay, files means you're going to create some modules, or else you're going to create some libraries, or else simply you're going to create one Python file. Okay, you have to give some file name also, module name, library name, like this. Apart from this, there are some classes are there. What is the meaning of class? You wanted to create, you want to create one structure, like how data are going to be stored. There is a one structure is required. For example, this sign up process contain one structure, means first you need first name, then you need last name, then you need date of birth also, then you need gender also, then you need mobile number or email address, then you need password. So this is become one structure. How you write that structure? You have to create one class. Is it clear, guys? Yes, no?
This comes under identifier.
Yes, class is the one identifier, because when you create the structure, you have to give the name, and in that name only you are going to store all the entire code.
Okay.
Okay, maybe in this structure, okay, you are writing variables inside of that. Okay, inside of the classes you can use variables. Okay, inside of the structure you can use functions. All these things you can write. Got it?
Yes.
Variable means you are storing only the data. Maybe it is a basic data type, maybe it is an advanced data type, maybe it is that data belongs to the libraries. Okay, what is the meaning of function? You write 10 lines of code. I wanted to use that code again and again, again and again. So why should I write the same code again and again? I'll store that code into one name, that is become one function. I have written 20 lines of code, and I wanted to use that particular code again one more time. Why should I write the code one more time? Because see, why you are storing the data? Because every time you don't want it to store the data, right? For example, every time you cannot ask the user to every time you have to sign up, every time you have to log in. It is not like that, right? For example, in Facebook, if Facebook application is designed like this, like every time you have to sign up and every time you have to log in, what will happen? No one is going to use, right? And there is a no data privacy will be there, because there will be no data, because every time you are logging, every time you are sign upping. So here, what is the purpose of storing the data? Okay, because you don't need to collect the data every time.
But sir, what is this function has store lines of code? Then what is module? It is also line of code.
No, maybe these files contains variables also. Maybe this file contains variable functions also. Maybe this file contains variable functions, classes. Maybe this file contains a number of functionalities, a number of functionalities plus classes also.
Okay.
Got it? In a file, you can write anything.
Okay.
Okay, function is nothing but a piece of code. Class is also one piece of code, but file contains n number of piece of codes.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
So here, whenever you wanted to store something, it may be any particular data, it may be any code of lines you wanted to store. Okay, you have created some formulas. Just assume, okay, um, this you click on the sign up button, and how this actually sign up works. For that purpose, you have to write that lines of code, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
then you store that particular code, and whenever someone is clicking on the button, in the background that function is going to be triggered. So here it is not like that, like every time when user is going to click on the sign up, every time in the backend we are going to write the code. Everything is automated, right? Because see, when you click on the sign up, one function is written, and that function is going to be triggered whenever you click, when you take the action on the button, right? Same thing in the Flipkart also. See, when I use the Flipkart, and if I just click on the add items, okay, again I click on the one more add item, okay, and let's say one more add items, okay, and if I go to the cart, so automatically calculations are going to be happen, like how much, like platform fee I need to collect, I need to collect the handling fees, whatever the discounts are there, automatically these calculations are going to be happened here. And if I click on anything, for example, if I click on plus one more one, automatically again calculations are coming with it. But how this is doing the calculation? So these formulas are going to be written inside of the function. Got it?
Good.
So in function, what actually you are doing, you are writing some particular lines of code. Maybe you are writing conditions, maybe you are writing loops, okay, maybe you are handling some files and then you are collecting the data in a function, maybe you are using APIs also. It may be anything. In number of lines you can write and you can store, and then you, once you give the name, it will become function. It is just a name. This is categorized for understanding purpose. Okay, when you are storing the data, how you are going to refer, it's a variable. For example, in a cricket, let's assume, okay, if there is a no name is assigned, rules are there, but names are not assigned. For example, white, it's a name. No ball, it's a name. Six is a name. Four is a name. LBW is a name. Run out is a name. For each and every name having their own identification. Are you getting my point? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If, and there are some signals also there, right? For example, someone hit the ball and ball went to the outside of the stadium, but umpire is going to open only one finger, then what will happen? It will be considered as a out. It will be considered as a out, right? But two hands, two finger up, then it will be considered as a six, right? Then only we are going to understand all these things, right? So here every name, every signal having their own identification. Similarly, in programming language, okay, why we have given this name variable, why we have given this name function, why we have given this name as a files, why we have given this name as a class, for identification. For example, everything you are storing only, but how this is going to be divided, how it is going to be differentiated. So when you store the data, you have given one name as a variable. When you store some lines of code, it will be considered as a function. When you save any file, it will be considered as a Python file. You can say module libraries in a one extension called .py. Using what? Using which extension? .py extension. Format will be there, right? For example, if I use .txt, it will become text file. If I use .png, it will become image format. If I use .mp3, it will become audio format. Similarly, .py for what format? Python format.
So can you explain a little bit more about class?
Yeah, class is nothing but the structure. Structure means, see, here example purpose. how this product are going to be sold. For example, this product is there. Okay, this biscuit is the one product. So in the backend part, how seller is going to add those things. For example, seller they have just one portal. They have to add the image, they have to upload the image, they have to add the heading, they have to add the price, how much discount they wanted to give, and again they have to mention all these things like quantity, how much this is the quantity, 140 gram, 150 gram, 100 gram. They have to fill all these particular details.
Okay.
Okay, how they have to fill all these particular details. Once they click on the save, this product is going to be published on the to the user in the website. This product is going to be visible, right?
Okay.
But how this structure is created? Through the class only.
Okay.
They have assigned image. Okay, in the class they are going to mention image, like how they have mentioned here, how they have mentioned first name, last name, your age, your gender, mobile number, new password. They have created one structure.
Okay.
Okay, so this structure can be used in number of time, because
So, sir,
why structure is created. For example, just assume uh, there is a, let's take very simple example. Let's take one university is there or one autonomous college is there, and they have created one campus. They wanted to create 4 buildings. Okay, so we will be having a separate class on the class. Okay, so don't be confused. So here let's assume there is a one campus is there, and this campus contains 4 buildings. Let's assume, okay, and now this 4 building, each building, okay, all buildings are same. Let's take all buildings are same. Now each building contains 4 floors, and each floor contains something 10 rooms, 10 classes. Okay, so all buildings are same. So now I have to go to the architecture. Okay, I'll go to the architecture. Now I'm telling you the architecture to design, okay, for this particular building, for this 4 buildings. So all the buildings are same. So how many designs are going to be created? Is it one design or 4 design? How many design you
one.
want? One design, right? Same thing when we build any applications, okay, or any type of work. Okay, for maybe you're going to test something which is similar things out there, or else like you're going to write one automation script for same work. Okay, it may be anything. So whenever you're doing the same type of particular work, as you can see here in the Facebook, one user wanted to create the account or 1 billion user wants to create the account, they have to fill the same details. Got it? They have to fill the same details, right or wrong?
Correct.
Right? For example, in Facebook page also, 1 lakh user wants to create the Facebook page, or else some 1 crore user wants to create Facebook groups. They have to go with the same structure, right? Structure is not going to be changed. It is going to be changed. The answer is no. Structure remains same
Same.
only. So that's why whenever any application are going to be built, first what they have done, they are going to design that particular structure, like how we are going to use, how we are going to collect the data, and this is the process. This is going to be remain forever. And what they are going to do, they are going to create one class, and they are going to write that particular code inside of the class. What data is going to be stored, what are the functionalities are going to be written, okay, and this is going to be follows for each and every particular action. If 1 lakh user is taking the same action, same code is going to be run. If 1 crore user are going to take the action, same code is going to be run.
So one question in class, like, okay, structure will be built to build some functionality, but data
Mm.
type could be anything, mixed data type.
Yeah, data type could be anything. Okay, for example, here maybe you're going to collect one data. See, inside of the class, maybe you're going to collect basic data types, or else you can collect advanced data types also.
Okay.
Okay, that depend upon the requirement. I am, or else I'm going to use to collect only single data. and then later I wanted to store all the single data into one data also. So
Okay.
here in the background, first they'll collect single data only. Okay, in the background, first they'll collect single data only, and then they are going to send as a one advanced data type.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
They'll store all this data in again in a one more variable, and then they are going to send through the one functionality. Again, they have to create one function, and that function is going to send the data to the database. Again, there will be one more function will be there. Before storing it, it is going to validate like this email ID is existing or not. Okay, this password is matching or not. For again, they have to inside of that particular, they have to create one more particular functionality like to check the password, to check the mobile number. Like I wanted to allow only one mobile number for one account, or else I wanted to restrict one email address for one account only. So that is also called validations. Again, you can write n number of functionalities depend upon the requirements. Got it?
Good.
Okay. So here identifier means what? It's a one name. And why we use this particular name? Okay, because whenever you use any programming language, sometimes you have to store the data, you have to store some lines of code, you wanted to create structure, or else you wanted to save that particular files. For that purpose, what you have to do, you have to assign some names here. That is the purpose we use the identifier. Now the next question here arise here. Is there any naming rules are there? Like, can I give any name? Can I give any name? The answer is no. You have to follow uh, these some rules are there, that is called universal rules. Universal rules means what? Means all the programming language follows the same rules. That is called universal rules. Because in all the programming languages, if you talk about the fundamentals, that is almost 90% same only. Okay. So theoretical part almost remains same. Only the writing structure, writing behavior, the syntaxes, the format of writing are going to be changed. But the mostly 90% fundamentals are same for all the programming languages. Okay, that's why the thing is like once you learned one programming language perfectly and you wanted to switch from one to another programming language, it will become very easy for you. For example, you learn C++ perfectly. Now you wanted to switch C++ to Java, C++ to C Sharp, or C++ to Python. You can switch very easily. Why? Because you have learned all the fundamentals perfectly. What is the thing you have to learn? Just only the syntax, the writing behavior only, and some differentiate will be there. Like in Python, we have to follow some different rules. In Java, we have to follow some different rules only. Got it? So here
Yes.
I wanted to assign some names. What is the rules are there? So first rule is there. You can give any names. There is no restriction, but make sure name must be in one word. Example, here you have given the name as a John space Cena. So it is not going to be valid. But you mention John Cena continuously, it will become the valid. Because when you give the space, your Python program will understand it's a two words. What it will understand? It will understand it's a two words. Example purpose. Now you can see here, if I write CD equals to 100. So now it will give you the one error. What is the error name here? Syntax error. So you can see different types of errors are coming. Here, what is the error? Name error.
Yes.
What is the error name?
Syntax.
Syntax error. So here, every error having their own definition. For example, when you do this mistake, okay, for name error mistake, you will not get the syntax error, and if you do the syntax error, you will not get the name error, right? When the name errors are going to become, when something it is belongs to the identifier, means you wanted to assign that name and you wanted to use that particular name, but which is not existing. That's why name errors occurred, because this name is not existing. and you wanted to use that particular name, right? That's why name errors occur. But what is the meaning of syntax? Okay, let's understand what is the meaning of syntax. So syntax is what syntax is the format, okay, or you can say writing behavior, whatever the concept I wanted to use, okay, whatever the concept I wanted to use here. So here what actually I am doing, I am storing the data. Okay, here I am storing the data. In line number 5, what I have written, c space d equals to 100. What it means, 100 I wanted to store inside of this particular variable, right? But how I am writing, I am writing wrongly. The format which I have used to write this particular one line of code, that is wrong. When you write wrong, okay, means whatever the concept you are using, storing a data is a one concept, okay, writing one condition is a one concept, writing a loop is a one concept, writing a function is a one concept, creating a python file is a one concept, okay, writing one classes is a one concept, okay, these are the concept. So here whenever whatever the concept you are using, and what you have done here, you have used the wrong method, wrong format, okay. So what you will get, you will get the syntax error. Is it clear, guys? Yes, no, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here you have used the wrong format. What is wrong inside of this? Inside of this, what is wrong? Identifier name is wrong. Okay, the name which you have to use, that is wrong. Wrong method. What is wrong method? Here you can see what is the naming rule is saying. You have to use the only one word. When you give the space, some errors are going to be occurred. But if I write CD equals to 100, I'm not get any error. I'm not getting any error. And later, if you just print CD, you'll get the answer as a 100 because this data is stored here. Clear for all? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Now, next thing here is whatever the name you have to you wanted to use, you can use it. But make sure name should not start with numbers. For example, I have used this name, but here I have mentioned one John. So it is not going to be acceptable. Okay. You can use like this. If I use, for example, John 1, okay, John 2, John 3, this is going to be acceptable. Okay. Similarly, there is a one more. Whatever the name you wanted to use, you can use the name, but make sure this name should not start with special character except of underscore. You can use the underscore, but don't use the other special characters. Example, you use underscore John. Yes, it is acceptable, no issues. But when you mention hashtag John, it is not going to be acceptable. Okay. Next point is, so here whatever the name you wanted to use, you can use that particular name, but make sure name should not be a keyword name or any built-in functions name. Okay. It means that names are already assigned for other work. Okay. So what it means here? So here the fourth point here is, you can see the definition of the identifier. This means who is assigning the names, you are assigning the name. But coming to the keyword, means you cannot use this keyword. That's the next topic. Okay, that is a next topic. What is the meaning of this particular keyword? The meaning of the keyword is this name is already existing. If some name is already existing, don't use that particular name. Already fixed names, or you can say word. Okay, or you can say assigned names. The
Sir,
question arises, yeah, the question arises here: who fixed their names? Who assigned the names? And why they have assigned the names? Question here. Question is who assigned the names? Okay. Why they have assigned the names? What is the purpose? And because see, something is already there. Okay. For example, there is a one building is there, institute building is there. Someone is adding the name. Okay. Like example, Durga software is there. Again, one more person is coming. Again, they are also opening one institute with the same name. What will happen? Some conflicts will be happen. Right or wrong? Someone is opening the Flipkart website. Again, one more person wanted to use the same name. Right? So here in programming language, the designer of the programming language, when the programming language is built, what they have done means they have fixed some names. The question arises here: why they have fixed this name? What is the purpose? As I said in the first, here you can see in the definition, in the tokens rules. For example, you can see wide. Wide is a fixed word in the cricket. Okay, and now next, for next action, I have given no ball is a one more name. For next again something 6 4 like this names are there. Okay. Now if I give the signal as a wide, okay, because this is already fixed. So what everyone understand? Audience, cricketers, players. Okay. So everyone will understand it's a wide. Is it clear? Yes, no.
yes,
When when umpire is saying no ball signal, everyone will understand. Okay, it is a no ball. Right? On based on that particular no ball, different result will be there. Right? Based on the 6, different result will be there. Based on the LBW, different result will be there. So similarly, here in Python programming language, you are going to use number of concepts. Okay, example, you are going to, okay, user is using, okay, conditions. Condition nothing but you write if else, okay, all these things. You use loops, okay, you use classes, okay, you use functions, okay, you are going to use modules, means you wanted to access another file in your file, okay, etc. Number of concepts are there in Python programming language. So now how when you write that code, okay, for example, here let's example, okay, just for example, I'm writing line number 1, line number 2, line number 3, okay, let's just I'm writing, okay. So now just assume, let's assume, okay, so here I have written conditions. Let's assume here I'm writing some loop, okay, here I'm writing functionalities, okay, and here I'm accessing some module, okay. So how your program is going to be identified? Like you have used condition. How your program is going to be understand you have used loop? How you're going to, like, how your program is going to understand you have written function? Through the keywords. So keywords are the one particular, you can say, one message to your particular program. Like in this line, this person is using the condition. In this line, this person is using the loop. In this line, they are using the functions. In this line, they are using the classes. How it is going to be identified for your program? Through what? Through the keywords. Is it clear, guys? Yes, no? Any doubt, any questions? Is it clear? Yes, no?
yes, sir.
Any doubt, guys? For others? Everyone, is it clear? Yes, no?
Yes,
Yes,
it's
sir.
clear.
Yes.
Okay. So here there are list of 35 keywords are there in Python. Okay, if it is light. Let me just copy paste. So these are the total 35 keywords are there, and each and every keywords is designed for 35 different tasks. Okay, so these are the 35 keywords are there. So all the 35 keywords are used for the 35 different concepts. Then only your program is going to be understand, okay, so this person at this time they are using this particular concept. Got it? Yes, no?
Yes.
Because this is already fixed, that is the purpose, like you cannot use the fixed words because it is already assigned for the other word. So that's why we have to avoid these names to create a conflict. Got it?
Yes.
Similarly, functions also, built-in functions. There are n number of built-in functions are there. What is the meaning of built-in functions? Function means, okay, as you understand, like we are writing some code, okay, but built-in function means some ready-made code is written and they have given some fixed word for that example purpose. Okay, here you can see, if I write print, okay, print a I have written, so I'm getting search in here. So what is this print? Print is a built-in function, it means ready-made function. Okay, similarly we have type function is there. Okay, like this we have some built-in functions are there, like when we go to the practical daily, okay, you'll find different particular built-in functions for different concepts. Okay, then you'll get the better idea, but as of now just understand, like what is function when you are writing your own code to get some result. Okay, why you are writing the code? Because you wanted to generate some result, that's why you are writing the code, your own code. But some code is already written, like see how this print function is working, because some code is written behind that. That's why when you write the print a, you are getting the result. Is it clear? Yes, no, everyone? Clear for all? Any doubt, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, so here print is a one function, okay, type is a one function, means these are the names which is already created, which is already fixed. Okay, so here what we have to do, we should not use, if any word is created as a keyword, if any names which is used as a function, so we have to avoid those particular names here. Okay, to not to create a conflict. Okay, so sometime what will happen, your code is not going to be run. Why? Maybe you're going to face some particular errors, or else something like overwritten concept are going to become. Okay, so for not to create any confusion, okay, to not to create any issues in your particular code, so what we have to do, you have to avoid keyword names and you have to avoid the built-in functions names. Okay, so that's it for today. In the next class, we are going to cover the other particular parts of the tokens, like what is the literals, what is operators, and what is punctuators. Okay, and after that we are going to understand how to install the Python software, how to write that particular code in Python. And just assume, if I'm not downloading the Python software, okay, because if you download the Python software, you don't require the internet, directly offline also you can run the code. But if I'm not downloading the software, okay, and directly I wanted to run my code on any particular website, there are n number of websites are there. So in the next class we can learn like how we can write the code using the software and how we can write the code without software also. And without writing the like without using the software, if I write some code, I wanted to store the files, how I can able to store the files, all these things we are going to learn in the next class. Okay, any other questions, doubt, guys? Okay, Prathamesh, a minor doubt, why we use the Panda series when we have data frames. So Panda series is specific for the one dimension data. If you wanted to use only one dimension data, where you don't have the n number of rows and column, you are strict with a one particular data set where you have only one row, then you will go with the Panda series. When you have two dimension data, like you have n number of rows, n number of columns, then you will go to the data frames.
One row by one row, you mean key value pair?
One row means single row, multiple columns. For example, there is a one showroom is there, and in that particular showroom one is there. Showroom one having some cars are there, and this cars having some particular inventories are there. So
Okay.
that is called single series only. Means only one row, one column information. But just assume that there is a one Maruti company is there. They are having the some 100 showrooms are there. In 100 showrooms, again they have n number of cars are there, and they wanted to check the n number of cars of inventory. Then they have to go with the data frame. Okay,
Oh,
for single row, if you wanted to create one data set that having only one row, you have sticked with one row only, then you go with the series. But you have a large data set where you have n number of rows, n number of columns, then you will go with the data frame concept.
okay.
Any other questions, guys? Any doubts? Okay, guys, so that's it for today. In the next class, we're going to cover the remaining topics. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.